I came home from a long business trip to find the marital loft in Manhattan in chaos. The air itself reeked of sex. I swallowed the urge to vomit and, hands trembling, cracked open the door. On the bed lay two naked bodies, writhing like blistering flames. One was the best friend I'd been glued to since childhood. The other was the perfect husband I'd vowed to spend my life with. Two people I knew better than I knew myself. I hated them, ferociously, poisonously. Later, they would swallow every last drop of bitterness I served. Before we go on, subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. My name is Chloe. I'd been married 3 years and believed I'd been happy for every one of them. Both sets of parents were healthy. Our own little family was picture perfect. Logan, my husband, was the model spouse, indulgent, soft-spoken, the kind of man who never let a harsh syllable touch my ears. March 7th was our 3rd anniversary. I was still on a distant assignment in Chicago, but I wanted to celebrate with him. I braved a torrential storm to catch the last flight back to our Manhattan loft. I'd already bought the Cabernet, his favorite takeout beef noodles, even a lavish bouquet. For years he'd been the one bringing me flowers. Tonight I would return the favor. I also planned to slip into the new outfit I'd bought a month earlier, a jaw-dropping, fire-engine red silk slip dress. I'm in decent shape. In that dress I'd have him stammering compliments for weeks. I stood at our door, smoothing my hair and outfit, pulse racing. A surprise this big might actually give him a heart attack. I couldn't wait to see his face light up. I eased the door open and peeked inside. Usually, at this hour, he'd be in the home office. But I kicked off my heels and crept forward on silent bare feet. By the entry table lay his car fob and his white dress shirt, streaked with heel scuffs. Logan is a neat freak. Every morning he polishes himself to perfection and never leaves clothes lying around. I shrugged it off, figuring the shirt was destined for the dry cleaning pile. I draped it over the sofa and kept searching. Then my foot nudged something that sent ice through my veins. A pair of black lace panties. Not mine. Yet I knew them. I'd given them to Luna for her birthday. She'd cooed that Victor loved the style. Panic detonated inside me. I staggered forward. The great room reeked of lavender, my own diffuser. The one I'd planned to light when Logan and I danced tonight. Whatever was happening, this loft suddenly felt alien, as if I'd never lived here at all. A moan from the master suite shredded the last shred of doubt. That was our bedroom, where I slept beside Logan every night. The door was ajar. I pressed my eye to the crack. Two bodies clawed at each other. Lingerie flung everywhere. Luna's bra dangled obscenely from Logan's neck. The woman underneath still wore what was left of my red silk slip, now shredded to ribbons. My best friend Luna, rutting with my husband in the bed we'd picked out together. Bile surged up my throat. My stomach, empty since the airport, heaved acid. I bolted to the powder room and retched until my ribs screamed. Tears I hadn't felt coming soaked my face, dissolving my mascara into gray rivers. In the mirror I stared at the wreckage, racking my brain for any clue that my marriage had rotted. Nothing, yet the evidence writhed naked in the next room. For one red-hot second I pictured kicking the door in, dragging the pair of them out by the hair, emptying the Cabernet over Luna's head, then fetching scissors to snip Logan's cheating manhood clean off. Filthy thing didn't deserve to live. But no, that single moment of satisfaction would let them off too easy. I forced myself to breathe, to think. I'm a litigator. Evidence first. I yanked my phone out, silenced every sound, switched to airplane mode, and opened the camera. Flash off. Brightness maxed. I wiped stray tears from the screen, twisted my hair into a quick ponytail, and stepped out. Behind the door Luna's operatic ecstasy soared, music to Logan's ears. No doubt, they were too far gone to notice me in the shadows, recording every filthy thrust. When I finally tapped stop, I watched the clip twice, then backed it up to the cloud for safekeeping. I shut the door gently so they could finish their lovely duet. The happier they were now, the sharper the blade I'd drive home later. I erased every trace of my visit, returned the scuffed shirt to the foyer, proof that Luna had been too hungry to wait. From entryway to kitchen to sofa, the loft was a battleground of misplaced clothes and sex-slick skin. The air tasted sour-sweet. I gagged again, grabbed the Cabernet and groceries, and fled. I felt contaminated, as though the stench clung to my pores. Outside, I peeled off my coat and hurled it into the building's dumpster. Marriage and all. I wasn't done. Not by a mile. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to the evidence folder, and smiled so darkly it hurt. What would happen if Luna's husband saw this? Victor, 15 years her senior, New York's billionaire media czar, worshipped the ground she stalked across on 6-inch heels. She'd married him for the vaults of gold he controlled. He adored her like a lovesick teen. I used to mock him for it. Why chain yourself to one woman when you own half the city? Now I understood. Luna the megastar could hypnotize anyone. We'd grown up side by side. More sisters than friends. Neighbors predicted she'd own the spotlight one day. And at 20 she did. Chart-topping albums. World tours. Tabloid covers. Yet she still shopped with me. Ate late-night ramen. Kept a key to my loft and the door code memorized. Looking back, every coffee date, every sleepover had been reconnaissance so she could slither into Logan's bed. I'd been a fool. Drunk on naive visions of loyalty. Logan and I owed our entire relationship to Luna. He'd been her personal photographer, talented, steady, the reliable eye behind her album covers, declaring him too good to waste on strangers. She played matchmaker, engineering dinners, concerts, weekend accidental meetups until love felt inevitable. I defied my parents to marry him, convinced Logan was my forever. I thought he deserved the world. Sitting in the car, I replayed every memory, wishing I could slap my old self hard across the face. Punishment for ever being that gullible. Nothing else mattered now. The only thing that counted was making those two cheating dogs pay for their sleazy romp, forcing them to swallow every ounce of scorn they had coming. I created an anonymous email on the spot and zipped the video into a neat little file. Subject line, "Your precious, beloved wife is writhing in someone else's arms, hot and heavy. Victor, hurry up and watch." I clicked Victor's profile picture last and hit send. Good. Now a second soul on earth knew the truth. I no longer had to bear the humiliation and rage alone. Instantly the weight inside me felt half lifted. 3 days later my best friend Luna topped the trending news. Bold headline, A-lister Luna catfished her way into a billion-dollar marriage. What's the real story? I silently saluted the headline writers. They knew how to hook a reader. I couldn't even pretend to work. All day I holed up in the den, refreshing every post that roasted Luna online. The boulder jammed against my chest had finally crumbled. More than half of it. Anyway, the remaining chunk refused to budge for one simple reason. The scandal had played out exactly as I'd expected, and yet not. Unexpected part. Victor's neon green hat never made a public appearance. The affair itself still hadn't broken. The expected part. I'd long known Luna's marriage was a con. As her closest girlfriend, I'd begged her not to bury her happiness under a mountain of cash. But Luna's eyes had dollar signs for pupils. Caution never stood a chance. To claw her way into high society she threw herself at Victor, orbiting him, seducing him, wrapping him around her finger until he was hopelessly hooked. She promised to give him a house full of kids, vowed he'd spend the rest of his life in daddy mode. Who could have guessed one medical report would ignite 10 million likes and shares? Luna could never bear children. She was biologically barren. The fraud was bulletproof, an official fertility diagnosis she couldn't talk her way out of. Curled on a corner of the bed, I itched to tell Logan the bombshell. Ever since I discovered his cheating I'd insisted on separate bedrooms, me in the home office. Of course, I couldn't stand the idea of touching the mattress still carrying their stench. Logan never suspected a thing. I blamed jet lag from my last business trip, said my early calls would wake him, and he bought it happily. Keys clacked in the home office. Logan was gaming. He'd racked up win after win tonight, and delight kept flickering across his face. Clearly, he was riding high. I cleared my throat. "Honey, are you free this weekend? I want to visit Luna." A clack, his keyboard slid off the desk onto his lap. Mention the adulteress, and the guy flinched like someone had yanked his skeleton out. She holding up. He turned, eyes dodging mine. Of course, his actions were too vile to advertise. The story's blown up. Victor found out she can't have kids, I summarized. I almost heard the rock roll off Logan's chest. He exhaled long and loud, then swung back to his game. Luna hadn't sneaked over for secret sex in 3 days. Smart boy sensed turbulence. Hearing it was only a infertility. Sweeter relief than any victory streak tonight. At last I saw him clearly, a self-absorbed fraud who'd always put himself first. "Luna, you should witness how little the man you betrayed me for actually cares. It's settled." Then, Saturday morning, I declared, killing the topic before he could object. Luna herself opened the door for Logan and me at her Riverdale mansion. Layers of concealer tried to hide the damage, but you could still spot the hollowed eyes and the puffy left cheek. "Luna, you okay? So you can't have a baby? Big deal. Anyone would think you cheated on him. The way he's sulking. All those grand vows down the drain." The minute we stepped inside I started trashing Victor, aiming straight for her guilty heart. Luna's gaze skittered every which way, especially toward Logan bringing up the rear. She scrambled to explain. "Chloe, don't trust the trash online. My eye got sand in it. Infection." I kept rubbing. "Really? Logan, come blow it out for her. Your eyesight's 20/20. I'm blind without contacts." I yanked him and shoved him at Luna. not a good idea, Logan yelped. He was stunned. I never talked like that, but faced with Luna's fragile beauty, pity and hunger flashed across his face, impossible to miss. He honestly wanted to blow that imaginary speck away. If I weren't there, he'd already have her crushed to his chest, murmuring the same tired player lines. I knew every trick in Logan's playbook. He'd used those glances on me once, reeling me in until I couldn't breathe. Luna was simply yesterday's me. Oh, one more thing. I fished inside my purse. That sexy pair of black lace panties, right there in front of everyone, including Victor, hovering in the hallway. I'd spotted him the second I walked in, watching from the shadows, watching Luna's face warp. I twisted the knife. Your husband loves you in these. Remember, I found them and figured you'd be frantic, so I brought them back. You're welcome. Luna snatched the underwear, flustered beyond words. How could those be mine? Mine are in the closet. Exactly the excuse I expected. And exactly the humiliation I wanted. I put on a mortified smile. Really, I came home from the trip and saw them. At first I thought Logan sneaked some girl into our bed, but then I recognized the pair I bought you. So here I am returning them. Both pairs of eyeballs nearly hit the floor. I could almost hear their hearts hammering. Luna, is that Chloe and Logan? Victor strolled up, breaking the spell. You should have told me. We'd never want to seem rude. Logan piled on a few oily pleasantries, and the moment dissolved. Rivals face to face. One spotlighted, one in the dark. Normally their age gap and hobbies kept friction under wraps. Tonight they let it all hang out. Mission accomplished. I practically skipped out of Victor's mansion. Predictably, the panty uproar cornered Luna again. Victor grilled her all night. Her SOS call came late. I camped in the bathroom long enough for Logan to answer freely. Sure enough, when I opened the door he was yanking on clothes, socks inside out in his rush. Where are you off to at this hour? I asked innocently. Logan lied smooth as ever. Some photoshoot emergency. Corrupted files. Had to fix it. I shrugged like I didn't care, but the second he pulled away I followed. Silent as a shadow. The rundown motel. Nice move. Pick the crumbling, mildew-scented motel at the edge of Brooklyn so no one would spot them. Finish their business in that dump and walk out carrying who knows what diseases. The thought made me gag. I was about to head inside when I noticed a shifty, shamble-bodied little guy, camera heavier than he was, snapping away like a woodpecker on Red Bull. Definitely paparazzi, or at least some species of it. Heaven was on my side. I played the anxious wife, walked up, and asked, have you seen a man in a white dress shirt go in? The paparazzo lit up, equal parts thrilled and intrigued. You know who he is, he shot back. My husband, I sighed. Hasn't come home all night, won't pick up. So I tracked his phone here. The second I finished, he flipped his camera around and showed me the preview. Logan and Luna locked together outside the lobby doors. Luna collapsing in teary surrender against his chest. Like some soap opera makeup scene. I slapped a hand over my mouth in faux shock. Sir, every rotten thing I just thought about you, my bad. I absolutely love your work. After a quick negotiation, I learned this paparazzo specialized in dirt, blackmail stashed in hard drives, pockets bulging with hush money. Luna was trending, tailing her promise to jackpot, and bingo, he'd already hit it. I traded him an even bigger bombshell for those shots. He'd be pulling an all-nighter to file. Back home I printed every frame, slid them into manila envelopes, and, channeling Logan's own breakneck pace, hand-delivered a set to every Hale on the family tree. While the lovebirds were still sweating the sheets, I swung by Logan's studio in Queens, fished the spare key from his jacket, and left a glossy surprise on every coworker's desk. Still not satisfied, I remembered another wounded party, Luna's husband. I shot Victor another anonymous email. He'd begged last time to know the face I'd blurred. After our joint visit, he'd already guessed. I was simply confirming his worst fear. Mission complete. I silenced my phone and took a well-earned nap. At dawn frantic pounding yanked me from sleep. Through the peephole, my mother-in-law Hale plus a parade of Hale relatives. They burst in, clutching my hand while their eyes ransacked the room. Good daughter-in-law, you just woke up. Where's Logan? Where is he? He said the studio needed him. Total honesty, no lie necessary. He left around midnight and never came back. Their faces told me the photos had done their job. They knew the naked man was Logan. Hale pressed on. You haven't received anything weird, have you? Like envelopes of photos? Right on cue the lock clicked. Logan, prodigal prince, strolled in. Hale lunged, whipped a stack of prints from her coat and slapped them across his face. Glossy love shots fluttered everywhere. Logan and Luna kissing, groping, inseparable. Look what you've done. Hale's eyes bulged, hands trembling like a phone on vibrate. No wasted words. She cracked him with a slap so sharp it could have split atoms. Then the whole Hale clan piled on, yanking his clothes until he stood in nothing but boxers. Every fresh hickey glowing neon pink. Proof positive, Luna the man-eater. No explanation could bleach those stains. I watched from the sidelines. Message received. Blood sticks to blood. The spectacle was meant for me. Sure enough, retired teacher Hale launched the sermon. Good daughter-in-law. Logan messed up. You've seen us punish him, but husband and wife share one life. Not anger. Let it pass. I swear he'll never stray again. The other Hale relatives nodded furiously. Right, Chloe. We know Logan, mature, responsible. He just lost his head. Think, you're almost 30. Divorce. Who'd want you? Second-hand wives are hard to remarry. Translation, I should cling to Logan or rot alone, my call. Outrageous. They coddled their golden boy while sneering at the outsider. Chloe, sweet Chloe, look closer. Logan's aunt chimed in. These are obviously sneaked pictures. Someone wants to wreck your marriage. A hug between friends, no big deal. Don't blow it up. Forgive and forget. The room pivoted. Apologies blooming for Logan. Hale's glare told him to act. Logan dropped to his knees with a thud. Baby, I swear I never wronged you. That's just a drunk coworker I helped to a room. Nothing happened. Give me one more chance. I'll devote my life to you. Only you. Tears streaked his earnest, Oscar-worthy face. Waiting for my pardon. The Hale Peanut Gallery chimed in, urging me to relent so they could go home. Suddenly his betrayal felt like my obligation to forgive. Was that really the script? 3 years married. I earned the money, kept the house, honored the elders, pampered the young, never a foot out of line. Today I'd be unreasonable for them. I snapped. I screamed, raw, reckless, hurling photos into Logan's face. Must I forgive? If that's the rule, can I sleep with some guy, say sorry, and call it even? Silence detonated through the great room. Human nature fails every test. Society crucifies women for sins it excuses in men. A cheating husband. A moment lapse. A woman's smallest mistake. Brand her for life. I stormed into the home office, yanked my phone, and, shame be damned, blasted the volume. Moans, giggles. Logan and Luna's X-rated soundtrack flooded every ear like a live stream. Still not enough. I raised the screen, pausing inches from each face. Let every Hale witness exactly what their steady, reliable prince really is. Oh my god. Isn't that Logan? And the woman underneath him? Is that the famous Luna? I swear I've seen her on TV. Yikes. It's Luna, the megastar. Good grief. What a disgrace. In an instant the great room exploded all over again. Logan hit me because I showed the photos and played the little video of him and Luna for his parents and the whole Hale clan. He lunged at me with a twisted face, locked his hands around my throat, and nearly choked the life out of me. A woman's strength is no match for a grown man's. If the others hadn't hauled him off, I'd probably be dead by now. The second I could breathe, I called 911. I'd installed nanny cams in the great room ages ago, so the cops saw every second of Logan throttling me. They asked why he'd done it, figuring he'd be too mortified. I played Good Samaritan and spelled it out for them. I even trotted out every shred of proof of his cheating. Even the fairest judge hates family messes. The officers could only lecture him, since there was no lasting damage. In the end, they gave Logan a verbal slap on the wrist, while a female officer patted my shoulder and murmured platitudes. The precinct didn't make him suffer. His studio, though, turned into a circus. The entire company learned about the photographer and the pop star's romp. To protect its reputation, the firm fired him. Reason given, morally bankrupt. No respect for marital vows. Toxic personal conduct. Overnight Logan became jobless. Words like talented, steady, outstanding slid off him like water. Every label glued to him now was ugly, nothing but ugly. Step outside and he's recognized. Duck into a diner for a bowl of beef noodles, and strangers point. How dare someone like him eat here? Disgusting. Reading those online comments, I sometimes laugh so hard I snort. Meanwhile Luna is trending on every outlet. Once the A-lister who'd married into billions, now exposed as a fraud who cheated while married. Netizens flood Victor with sympathy, true love betrayed. I stay holed up in my old room, scrolling every fresh Luna headline. Every clip and photo tied to Logan keeps multiplying across the internet, some I'd never even seen. Do enough dirt and karma eventually auto-uploads. Billionaire Victor quit swallowing punches and filed for divorce faster than Logan, and I did. Luna, top-tier celebrity, now toxic waste. Brands and production stampede to drop her. Naturally she can't cover the sky-high penalties. My guess, she's broker than broke. Clutching the faint glimmer she had back when the crowd's applause was everything. After that day I moved out of the marital loft for good and back to my parents' home in New Jersey. I want zero trail linking me to Logan. The past 3 years, meeting him, dating him, marrying him, Feel like a wasted investment. Why didn't I spend those years on simple joys? Take a trip. Adopt a smiling Samoyed. Dance till sunrise. I'd put family and Logan first and shortchange myself. I'll pick a sunny morning and sign the divorce papers. When I see Logan again, he's slumped outside Manhattan City Hall Marriage Bureau, so shabby I almost mistake him for a vagrant. He insists he's Logan, but the white tank top is ripped, and hickeys still bloom on his skin. Only then do I believe this wreck is him. Hard to picture the once glossy Logan reduced to this. What? Luna couldn't keep him busy. Let's go inside. I've got questions. But I won't squander another minute. My spa appointment waits. Instead of following, he yanks me into a suffocating hug. A cocktail of armpit, foot, and days-old sweat rockets up my nostrils. I retch, loud, and vomit my breakfast right there. No joke. The idiot's eyes light up. Chloe, are you pregnant? Me? Do you really not know why I just puked? Forget this place. We'll hit the hospital. You threw up. That's our baby. He drags me toward the curb to flag a cab. Has he lost his mind? Baby fever on steroids. I wrench free, snarling. Pregnant my ass. Your stench is killing me. If we're ending this, at least shower and show up like a civilized human being. Basic respect. He keeps babbling. I didn't want the divorce, so I walked out exactly like this. I've done nothing but think of you. Every cell in me screams I love you. Please don't leave. Old Chloe, the love addict, would have dived into that pathetic embrace. But I'm not old Chloe. I'm Chloe 2.0. Ice cold upgraded. I hit him with every cruel, honest syllable I can muster. Finally his eyes drown in disappointment, regret, and something that might be remorse. His last line, I only ever loved you. My reply, right now I only love myself. After the mandatory waiting period, the papers are signed. Outside City Hall I ask Logan why he chose Luna. By now he looks almost at peace. He says one night the whole gang was at dinner and he caught Victor's hand sliding up some woman's thigh. That woman wasn't Luna. Later Victor sought Logan out. The puzzle clicks. Victor sinned first, then exploited a man's hunger for novelty to manufacture another scandal, burying his own offense beneath fresh dirt. Luna and Logan's mistake merely gave Victor's mistake a free pass and public sympathy. I pull up the top entertainment headline on my phone. It's Victor's second wedding exclusive. The tycoon nuzzling a dazzling bride. I zoom in. Show Logan the woman. Her. He squints. Studies the screen. Finally mutters. Yeah. Something inside me thuds. For 1 second my hard-won clarity wobbles. Turns out the world is just a spinning drain we keep circling. Thanks for listening. If you liked the story, hit like, share with friends, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe for more. See you next episode.